You are listening to the Fairness Doctrine on CyberstationUSA.com. Patrick, take it away.
Thank you, Lars. And we are back, and we have our regular contributor, Dr. Judith Reisman, better known as Dr. Sex. Dr. Reisman is a writer, best known as the founder of the anti-Kinsey movement, and she laughs a lot, and she publishes regularly on WorldNet Daily and Salvo Magazine and other publications. Judith, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Pat. Delighted to be back. Mm-hmm.
I understand you moved recently.
Yes.
Where are you now?
I am now in Maryland, just inside the famous or infamous, however you look at it, Beltway.
Are you enjoying
where
that?
The movers and shakers do the moving and shaking. Yes, I am, by golly, yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I understand that you have a comment on the attempt by the House Republicans to defund Planned Parenthood. I take it that you support that.
Oh, I so support that. I've been carrying on for the past 30 years, I think, supporting that and saying we ought to do a lot more than just defund Planned Parenthood. We need to be prosecuting their leadership for crimes against children and for defrauding the state. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, those are some pretty serious charges, so we need to hear some evidence.
Oh, well, all right. Well, Planned Parenthood itself, on its own website, of course, still cites to ye old Alfred Kinsey as an expert, while they, of course, also cover up the crimes that, for which Kinsey was involved, including the sexual tortures of hundreds, if not many, many, many more children, the youngest of 2 months of age.
So how are they covering up? They're not really involved in that at all. They run clinics. It's not their place to cover anything up.
No. Planned Parenthood is your number one spokesperson in terms of sex education for schools and for children in schools. And in those schools, they have consistently been a representative of the Kinsey worldview and the Kinsey data. And not only that, but they were deeply involved with the commission way in the beginning with Kinsey. They shared Mary Caldron shared the same lawyer, Morse Ernst, as Kinsey did. He spoke at their conferences on abortion. She quoted him in the Roe v. Wade testimony that she gives on abortion. The Kinsey Institute and Planned Parenthood have been embracing for years, well, from the very beginning. And not only that, but Planned Parenthood, which, by the way, as a liberal in the old days, I supported. I thought they were going to be teaching children about healthy sex. Strange thing, I would believe that. But anyway, and
they don't. You're saying that they don't.
Oh, no, they don't. Of course they don't. That's why I want to see them hit the courtroom. I want it proven in a court of law. Back in 1974, I was handed a pamphlet, a how-to booklet that Planned Parenthood had written in Rocky Mountain Planned Parenthood, in which they said that if you want a warm body, you should buy one. There are girls who have freely chosen that business. Marriage is the price that you'll pay, and you'll get later on they said that about the marriage, freely chosen that business, they said. So they're talking to the boys, this was 9th grade, 10th grade boys and girls, and they're telling them that girls who engaged in prostitution, this is 1974, that this was a freely chosen business proposition, right? Don't feel badly about it, just buy the body. And then they followed that up with the attack on virginity back in 1974 that they maintained for many years and still really maintain, in which they said, and they said as far as virginity is concerned, do you want a virgin to marry? I'm quoting this. Do you want a virgin to marry? Buy one. There are girls in that business too. Marriage is the price you'll pay, and you'll get the virgin very temporarily. This was Planned Parenthood's advocacy program. Its worldview promoted to young children, vulnerable children, at very early ages, way back in 1974, and they have continued their diatribe. Yeah, they are a Kinsey clone. I believe that I can call them a sect. This is not a legitimate scientific group in any way, shape, or form. They accredit each other. They celebrate each other at their conferences. There was no human sexuality education prior, Kinsey. And these are the guys that stepped in the vacuum, took it over, and ran with their belief system and haven't stopped running since.
So you're basing this on a pamphlet from a 1974 office of Planned Parenthood, because I'm now looking at their website, and they're totally against prostitution, and they actually have town halls helping parents determine if their children are involved in it and how to stop it.
Well, there you go, Pat. Here's the answer. You have that information. I have years of information that preceded that, where they were recommending the very things that these children are suffering from today. I say that you've got a wonderful class action lawsuit out there, kids who have been trained in the classroom that they can engage in promiscuous sex because they've been told that they can have sex with anybody they want. And by the way, Planned Parenthood didn't mention condoms for years. I have to find the first pamphlet that they actually mentioned that to, because they've been telling the kids that they can have sex with their friends for years. I say, let's get them in a courtroom. Let's decide, based on the evidence in a court of law, whether there's a massive class action lawsuit out there ready for these kids who have STDs, who've gotten pregnant, who believe their teachers when their teachers have been training them this way for 30 years or not. It belongs in a courtroom. Not only do we have them promoting prostitution right now, that those young kids found that out in various Planned Parenthood groups, but we have a
wait. They're promoting prostitution. You get sued for libel for that. What's your proof on that? Because I've got sue. Yeah. Well, what's your evidence for that? Because everything I see on their website and everything I've seen over the years with them is that they're a fighter against prostitution.
Oh, I thought you were up on all the latest exposés. No, we've had a group of young kids that went into various Planned Parenthood centers and disguised themselves or said that they, and right there, and it's on the videos, you can go on the web or YouTube, whatever, on the YouTube thing, and said that they were interested in getting a little bit of help because indeed they were going to be soliciting funds for their young people. They wanted to find out how to do this in terms of human sexual activity, i.e. prostitution. And they were actually given information and support where the Planned Parenthood leadership there was telling them how to pretend that the girls were older than they are. The whole business. Yeah,
I'm familiar.
I'll happily drag that stuff up for you.
No, I'm familiar with it, and that was publicized by the Gospel Coalition. It was done in one particular Planned Parenthood clinic, and the person involved was immediately fired. And it turns out that the video that you're referring to was actually edited to make it look like things happened that didn't happen. It's been debunked.
There we are then. Okay, Pat, I'm saying to you, there's enough smoke here. There is plenty of fire. I've been working on the Planned Parenthood issue for 30 years. And if we had an hour, I will drag out all the work that I've done on Planned Parenthood that identify this. Remember, I was for Planned Parenthood originally. I thought they were going to be doing a proper job. No, they're not. They're standing on the Kinsey data. They're not telling anybody the truth about the Kinsey data. On their websites, when you go ask Alice on all of those things, you couldn't read on the radio the things that children are told are okay on Go Ask Alice and the other connecting websites to Planned Parenthood. You couldn't do it because you would be arrested. And I repeat, yes, let Planned Parenthood sue me, any day and night, because what that means is we get discovery, and we'll go into the courtroom having done discovery, and I can tell you that even the stuff that I know is only the tip of the iceberg. They are covering up. They have been covering up since 1960s, late 1960s, and they are continuing the cover-up. And I will tell you, I believe they've been defrauding the state. It's against the law to tell the state that you want money from the state in order to train children in healthy sexuality, and then to tell them that they can engage in promiscuous sexual conduct with people, multiple partners, with no harm done. No, this is a group that has been subverting the country. They should be in a courtroom. We need to address this to the jury of their peers and our peers. We need to get down to the bottom of it, because I believe they have been destroying the lives of millions of children.
Well, obviously, since there hasn't been that class action suit, there haven't been a lot of those millions of children apparently don't think so. But I hear my co-host, Chuck Morse. So, Chuck.
Judith, thanks so much for joining us. I don't know if it's so much an issue of bringing Planned Parenthood to court, but I do think that I don't know why we're giving them taxpayer money and why they're in public schools. And Patrick is looking at a website. I mean, I know this may sound anecdotal, but nevertheless, I recently attended a parents' meeting which was addressed by a Planned Parenthood member, which was bringing sex education into my own daughter's school. And this Planned Parenthood, her presentation was really, really disgusting. Even liberals in the room were upset. And you could feel people starting to leave, and it just was vulgar. Well, there's sex everywhere, so why not bring it in the schools? They're going to be exposed to it on the bus. They're going to be exposed to it on advertising. They're going to be exposed to it in television, so let's bring it into the schools. And then she went on to talk about other things that were really just, I'm scratching my head and wondering, first of all, besides the immorality of it, why in the world would taxpayers pay for this? What are we really getting for that? And also, you mentioned that...
Well, what you're getting are clinics all over the country that did 2 million breast exams last year.
But why are they going into schools for sex education?
Because there are women all over the country who can't afford it, who have been cut out of medical insurance by the greedy insurance companies, if you'll pardon my saying so, and because it saves women's lives. It's some places it's the only place they can get pap smears, they can get breast exams, they can be checked for cervical cancer.
Yeah, but why are they involved with sex
120,000 women were saved from breast cancer by Planned Parenthood last year.
Why are they involved with sex education with children? If they want to help women with breast cancer, fine, but why should we be, as taxpayers, having them send these operatives in to educate young children, young girls about sex? And also, Judith...
Same reason, I guess, is that we have these Christians being sent into schools to teach abstinence-only education, which has resulted in higher teen pregnancies.
Well, I mean,
maybe we shouldn't do either one of those.
Maybe they're not doing a good enough job.
You're reading all the propaganda.
I'm reading the Department of Education.
They're not doing a good
data.
enough job, then, Patrick. But also, Planned Parenthood doesn't just go back to the 60s. I mean, we could go back to the 30s with the Negro Project, where Margaret Sanger set up abortion clinics in Harlem to get rid of what she called a dysgenic race.
Well, I'm interested in 2011 right now. That's the topic.
Okay, fine. I just wanted to throw that in.
If we're talking about 2011, we have to talk about the fact that that those little kiddies in school who are being told that they can engage in sex without any difficulty, just use the condom, and they know darn well.
Well, that's not what they're being told, Judith. You're misrepresenting it. That's not what they're being told. They're being told that sex... Yes, you are so. I've got their information in front of me. They're being told that sex before marriage is not a good idea. They're being told that sex as teenagers is not a good idea. They're being told they can get pregnant. They can get told they can get STDs and don't do it. But they're also told that if you absolutely can't not do it, if you absolutely can't control yourself, here's a way to protect yourself.
Oh, Pat, I have been reading their material now for 30 years. And
you should read some of the modern material.
Well, I have, and I've got it right up here, too, where they're quoting Kinsey saying that the Kinsey scale, that 1 in 10 is homosexual.
Probably true.
No, it's not true, fortunately.
Well, actually, we don't know one way or another.
Well, we know that Kinsey's statistics were cooked, Patrick. Whatever it is, he had an agenda. I think that's
we actually don't know.
Oh, we don't?
We don't know what?
what percentage of the population is gay.
No, but we don't. But we do know that Kinsey's statistics are not to be trusted as scientific data. I mean, the guy, and Judith has done a lot of research on this, how he came up with those statistics, the methodology, the motivations. I mean, that's all. I mean, how many people are gay, that's a separate question. The fact is that for them to rely on Kinsey, these corrupt statistics that came out in the late 1940s, and for them to be quoting them now is troubling. Especially
more
with
than
Kinsey's
troubling,
methods.
because then you have to really begin to ask, what have they been saying all along?
Judith, can you hold that thought? We've got a break coming up here, and when we get back, you can talk about it uninterrupted. We got to take a quick break. You listen to the Fairness Doctrine, Left, Right, and Uncensored, and we'll be right back.